Okay, it is pretty much 8 o'clock. So I need to start talking. There's not really like a ton of pages on this because it takes a while just to kind of explain what's going on. I did look at the homework, and the only thing I did not have on my little lesson plan was the really large truth table using 3 statements. So I made sure to add one, like came right off the homework. And then like the last couple of minutes, what I'll do is I'll pull up the homework just to kind of show y'all like how you're supposed to answer them. And then that'll really be it. But I kind of don't even know if this will go all the way to 9:15. It might, just because I talk a lot, but hopefully it's not too bad of a lesson for y'all. Okay, so what sucks is I have to try to draw straight lines. There's a way. There is something in here. Enhanced ink shapes. I wonder if that'll straighten my lines. I think that's the way I'm supposed to do it. That's not what I did at all. Okay, so 3.2. What this is truth tables. And it's going to be for the connectives, which is the conjunction and the disjunction, as well as the negation. So truth tables for negation, conjunction, and disjunction. I did not make that line straight like I thought it would, so we'll see if I'll be able to do this. Okay, so let's define what a truth table is. These are used to determine when a compound statement is true or false. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the truth table for a negation and the different cases that you could possibly see. And then we're going to do a truth table for a conjunction. And I'm going to pick out the one that's like super important. Then the disjunction, then we're going to construct the truth table like 3 times. The last one's going to be a lot, not even gonna lie to you. And then the very, very last example that we'll do is going to actually use like it won't be as abstract. It's gonna actually use like numbers and stuff, and we're gonna be able to tell whether or not the statement is true or false. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to label this negation truth table. We're gonna talk about it. Okay, so where it's stated in the definition of like a truth table about how we use it to determine whether something's true or false, that's 2 different cases, right? The first case would be where it's true, and then the second case would be where it's false. Okay, so this is how it looks. We're going to talk about how we have this first case, and then we also have a second case. Actually, do that a little bit longer, kind of like this. Okay, so I've got 3 rows, and right now I just have 2 columns, but let's do a third one like that. Okay. Now, because I'm talking about the negation, we're going to just use this simple letter P for our statement. And it would look like this. Our first row, second column, we have our P. If we negate it, it looks like this. That's saying not P. And so if you go right here where it says case one and you only scoot over one time under the P, the first case that we could be looking at would be where our truth value is true. That would be case one. The other case would be that our truth value is false. Okay. Now right here, this is where we're going to negate it. Okay, so if I look, I thought I just made that go away. Okay, if I look right here, case one, but I'm negating P, right? Here, normal P was true. Once I negate it, it becomes false. For case two, P is false. When I negate it, it becomes true. Okay, so the negation of a statement is always the opposite truth value. Which we kind of talked about that before, right? Like how it, it is the opposite. The only thing is now what we're doing is we're actually putting them in a truth table. Makes sense? That is the simplest one that we will do because it is just the negation. So it is just taking the opposite. That's it. So you can also just kind of make note that, no, let's not say that yet. Let's do the next one because it should make more sense in a minute. Let's talk about a conjunction truth table. So a conjunction truth table, we're going to actually have 4 different cases. So I'm going to draw a table that has 5 rows and 4 columns. Just to give you all a heads up on where I'm going. Okay, so I can go ahead, let me write case 1, case 2, and this is just to explain to you what's happening. In all honesty, after today, we won't ever write case 1, case 2, case 3, because we won't need to. Okay, that's my first column. And then we're going to have P, Q, and conjunction is and, so it'll be P and Q. Here's P, here's Q, here's P and Q. Oh man, I'm gonna bring PQ and P and Q up some because I actually like this, y'all. P, Q, P, and Q. I apologize for that, especially if you're not writing in pencil, I'm sorry. Okay, so, and just as a heads up too, like moving forward on your homework on the test, the simple P, the simple Q, even if you have an R, all of the initial truth values are always given to you. I'm explaining them now, that's why we're filling them out. But like you'll notice that you're actually given a lot, and then you just have to remember what does the operation do, okay? Okay, so case 1 is going to be where both P and Q are true. Let's see what color I wrote in purple. Okay, that would be case 1, where both of my simple statements are true. And after a while, like you'll see a pattern. Right now, you might not though. The second case that we could encounter, because we're going to talk about all possible cases, right? But 2 different things. One is they're both true. One is where P is true and Q is false. And then I also have the case where P is false and Q is true. And then I have the last case where both of my simple statements would be false. Okay, so remember this P conjunction Q, it's read P and Q, right? So I need to ask myself, is this and this both true at the exact same time? If they are, it's gonna keep snapping weird because I'm trying to make my line straight. But if P and Q are both true at the exact same time, the outcome the truth value that I get is true. Okay, so whenever I look at case one, right, I'm just on this second row. Okay, I ask myself, is this and this true? Yes, therefore the truth value or the outcome that I get is true. And this at the exact same time, right? And I'm looking for true. Boom. Yep. Look at case two. Is P and Q at the exact same time true right here? No. Therefore, the truth value that they get assigned is false. Case three is oy vey. Is this and this true? No, I don't know what. I probably need to take that thing off where it's gonna snap my letters into certain shapes because it does not know what I'm trying to write. I saw Peter's face. There we go. Stop. And then, okay, so here is this and this true? No. So outcome false. Case four, is this and this true? No, outcome is false. If this is the one that is important with a conjunction. Okay. I'm going to scoot over just a little bit, kind of cover up the word cases. Okay, here, this is only true, right? We only had one time. This is only true when both are true. And then this is something that you could write T, conjunction T equal T, right? True and true equals true. That would be like the shorthand for the conjunction is this right here. Okay. So let's talk about a disjunction. That kind of makes sense though. Negation, whatever you. I heard a huh or what? It says that they're only true when both are true. True and true equals true. Here's true. And I'm using this and. Here's another true. Therefore it equals true. So only when you have this symbol, this conjunction, and it starts with a true and it ends with a true is your outcome true, is the resulting truth value true, because I'm taking two different statements and I'm trying to see what does this operation do. Does that make sense, kind of? Okay. Okay, so, and then just again, y'all, this right here, you're always given this part. I'm talking about it because I'm explaining to you each and every single case, but after a while, like you'll see a pattern. You see true, true, false, false, and then it alternates.
So we're always given that pattern?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now go to graduate school and have a P, Q, R, S, T, and U, and then you have to create it on your own. I cried often. Okay, so that's a conjunction. Now let's talk about a disjunction. Okay, so disjunction, truth table. Same thing, 4 cases. Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4. A line on top, a line going down, a line through. And then like that. It's the exact same truth table. So I wish I could just copy and paste things. It's easier if I had like a little template or I was writing on the camera, but on my computer, I got to write this every time. Okay, so we have P, we have Q, and because this is a disjunction, our operation at the very last, like at the last column, is P or Q. And then it's the exact same like possibilities for our cases. The first case is where they're both true. The second case is where P is true and Q is false. The third case is where P is false and Q is true. And then our last case is where they are both false. Now, whenever I did the conjunction, it's the word and. I want them both to be true at the exact same time, okay? Whenever we have a disjunction, this is using the word or. So I ask myself, is this or this true? As long as either of them are, your outcome is true.
3 truths and a false.
Yes. That's it. Okay.
I can see that.
Yes. So first case, I ask myself, is this truth value for P? And this truth, I'm sorry, I said and, saying and or in class is gonna jack me up if I don't pay attention. Is this truth value or this truth value true? Whenever I answer yes, my outcome is true. Case 2, is P or Q true? Yes, at least one of them are. So that way, or so that means that your answer or the outcome is true. Case 3, is P or Q true? Yes, so my outcome is true. Case 4, okay, so you remember on the conjunction, there was just one case where it ended up being true. On the disjunction, there's only one case that ends up being false. So it's like you only have to focus on the one that's different. Okay, so case 4, is this truth value or this truth value true? No, neither of them are. Therefore, the outcome that I get for that operation is false. Okay, and so what we say is only false when both false. And it looks like this. F or F equal F. That's the little like shortcut way of knowing what happens with a disjunction, which is saying any other combination of truth values will equal true, because this is the only time it equals false. Does that kind of make sense? Okay. The word and means both have to be true. The word or means either this or that. As long as you see a single true, you end up getting a true. Okay, it's when they were both false that it ended up being false. Because when I use that word is this true? The answer is no. Technically, when I say yes, I'm doing a T. When I say no, I'm doing an F. Okay, that's literally the majority of all of today's lesson. Now we're going to do our examples, and then I'll open up the homework just to kind of show y'all, because no matter how many ways I've changed this lesson and worked on truth tables different and found an easier way, the homework still will always look slightly different, because I mean, it's an actual like platform and they have like programs, and you know what I mean, I can kind of teach it to you. I would just recommend you get a piece of paper, you do it the way that I'm showing it to you. I'm trying to think. I think what's online is this. I don't think I have my old one. I used to do it in a more complicated way. I don't know why I did, but I did. So hopefully this is more simpler. But I will show y'all the homework. Okay, so constructing a truth table. Are y'all having fun yet though? I just love this stuff so much. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. Okay. I'm going to call it A. Technically we have A, B, C, and then we have like a different type of example at the end. Okay. I'm trying to think of how I could say this. Excuse me. I'll look to see how much they cost, or if there's a way for me to order them. Because like sometimes they'll like let me spend money like for my class or whatever. But if y'all could find like erasable highlighters or something, like any type of colored pencil on this next exam, it's allowed, because I know what helps to visually see what's going on here. Okay. But like pens and markers and things that won't go away, it's gonna end up being messy, and it would probably help you. But if you could find some kind of erasable something, I think that might be helpful. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna construct a truth table for, okay, the negation of, remember in math, we open parentheses, not P or, I'm sorry, not Q or P. I could literally tell you for all 4 cases what this whole set of operations ends up equaling when they both start at true, when one starts at true, one starts at false, one starts at false, one starts at, and when they're both false. Okay, and you're gonna have just one answer column that ends up being the answer. Now that's what I'm saying too, as far as the homework is concerned, It'll just give you something like this and it just gives you the answer column. Hey, don't try to do it in your head. I mean, if you want to, it's fun, but write it down on a piece of paper, get to your answer column, and then that's what you put into the homework. Okay, because not all of them are going to give you like all the little openings to put all the different truth values. Okay. Okay, so we need to go ahead. We no longer need to write we no longer need to write case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4. We now know there's 4 cases. When we have 2 statements, we have a total of 4 cases, and it's because they both can be true and they both can be false. Okay. So all we have to do is we need our column for P. We need our column for Q. And then I'm going to rewrite what it is that I'm doing, which is the negation of not Q or P. Close. Go ahead and put your line underneath. And then, like I said, this is what's given to you. But for your P, if you just have P and Q, it goes true, true, false, false. And then your Q goes true, false, true, false. Okay, so it doubles and then it alternates. After we finish, yes. It's a tilde. It's like a knot. They also look like this from what I've been told, or like that. I think just the way I've always drawn them is like that, but it's anyway, it's a squiggle. Whichever way you start, if it goes to the bottom first or it goes up, I've been told mine's backwards. 10 years. I don't think my hand could do it any different. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so here's what you're always given, right? I'm just gonna tell you now, I'm done writing the lines, going through it. If y'all want to keep doing it, it's fine. But this right here, that's just gonna get really annoying for me. I'll probably do it now because I already did it. But after a while, like I'm gonna lose those, okay? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Because we're in math class, I know that I've always been taught to start at the innermost and you work your way out. Okay, and don't get me wrong, there's 7 different ways I can teach this to you. This always ended up equaling one that caused less harm. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start inside of our parentheses. I'm going to right here write the negation, and I'll do the highlights for each of the columns just to kind of see what it is that was happening, and then I'll probably move away from that. But what I'm going to do first, okay, this is going to be the first thing that I do, is I'm going to negate Q. Where's Q? Right here. And Q goes TF, TF. A negation is always the opposite truth value. So whenever I go in my highlighted yellow column, I'm now going to write what? Yep. FT, FT. Like that. And don't get me wrong, you do have to like rewrite the same thing over and over again, and it doesn't get any better. I'm not going to lie. And after a while, if you are good at seeing patterns, you could probably start doing some things and like double up on them. But I'm trying to do it like every single thing broken down for you. Okay. I needed to go ahead and negate P. And then right here, we actually can't avoid having to rewrite it. So I'm going to see if I can't do this with y'all and y'all get it. What we're going to do in this highlighted pink, you could either rewrite P and then do the disjunction of them, or we could just do this. Here is my P column, correct? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at each of these individual truth values and also here, and then I'm going to put the answer right here for the disjunction. So what I'm doing in this row, is this truth value or this value for P, or do you want me to write that P down, the whole P column? I'm going to do it. Okay. Let's bring P over here. I just switched it up because I saw a face. Okay. What is this? Purple. I'm sorry, purple. It's like a pinkish purple. That's just the column P, right? It has not been negated. And what is P? P is true, true, false, false. Let's carry that over here. So this will have been the second thing. Now I can do the disjunction. I thought I could kind of skip to it. Someone looked at me like I was a crazy person. This is going to be the operation that I do. That blue is really light, y'all. This will be the third thing, which is actually taking the truth value for the negation of Q and doing a disjunction with the truth values for P. So I'm looking right here and I'm asking myself, is this or this true? Someone tell me yes or no. Yes, therefore their truth value, the outcome that I get is going to be this true. And then now let's look right here. Is T or T true? Yes. Is F or F true? No, they're literally both F's. They're literally both falses. So I get a false. I'm sorry, because my colors are all like just on top of each other. Last case, is this or this true? Yes, at least one was true. So my final truth value here is true. So this right here, I'm going to put an asterisk next to it where it says 3, because everything else I either negated or just kind of copied, right? This third column that I worked on, that is the actual answer to that disjunction that's happening inside of that parenthesis. Okay, boom, to put right here. I'm just trying to find colors that we like. I think we like the yellow and the pinkish. I don't really like this light blue. I got this bright blue. Let me switch it up. I'll do this bright green. This is my answer column. This is my final thing that I work on. Therefore, it ends up being what I put or like my answer for this. And what it wants me to do is take the negation of what I found inside of this parenthesis. Okay, and what I found inside of the parenthesis is this whole little column right there, the blue one. And my answer column where I have my 3 and my asterisk, because that was me doing that disjunction operation, I have true, true, false, true. The negation of that would be, yep, that's your answer. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's a lot of small, tiny baby steps that when you look at by themselves are not that hard, but it's super, super easy to get confused with this. Okay. Green, this is answer. The very last one. Right here? Okay, because the first thing I looked at was like negating the Q, right? And here, this is my Q, and Q's false. When I negated it, it became true. The second thing I did was just copy that P, right? And here's a false. Now, whenever I actually, let me kind of go all crazy like this to make this go away. Okay, so I'm looking at this truth value or this. Are either of them true? That's why the answer that I'm trying to put a box around, that's why that ended up being true. You see what I mean though? Yeah, if your mind looks in one spot that it shouldn't for too long, you can mess everything up. Oh, I guess I accidentally just opened up my email. Hold on one second. Fat fingers. So we would be saying true or true. So I'm saying, is this or this true? Yes, one of them is. Actually, they both are, but at least one is. So you would end up getting a true. If you have true or false, you get a true. If you have false or true, you get a true. It's when you have false or false that you get a false. As long as there's a true. This means you need at just at least one. This or both. It don't matter. This, they both have to be true. So it's like this one's more exclusive, whereas this one's more inclusive. I just need one true and then my outcome's true. And then the thing is just kind of keeping straight, like, okay, work on this column, work on this column. Okay, now use these to answer this. And then you kind of like, you're kind of working inside and you're kind of going out. Okay. I think there's 13 problems on the homework, and I think there might only be like a handful that do a 3 statement one. So more should primarily be like this. But let's go on to B. I actually don't know why. I should have done A first, A second and then B, because B is actually a little bit easier. And then this is the one we need to do next. It comes from the homework. Because obviously it starts simple and real, and then it steps it up. Okay. B, not P and not Q. I need my P column, my Q column, and then I'm going to write what I'm doing. Huh? Not, yeah, you're negating it. You do the opposite of. You can make this one right here with all your columns so super complicated because you could like copy down your P and then you could negate it. And then it's like, why though? You know what I mean? You don't need to do that. Your P is going to be listed right here. So just negate it right here. You know what I mean? And then your final answer column is going to be underneath your operation. And then we're done with this one. So this one probably should have been like the one first because it's a tad bit simpler. Well, let's go ahead and do this. And remember, you're always going to be given these first two like columns or three columns, depending on how many sets you have. But it goes like this: true, true, false, false, true, false, true, false. And this is what you're given in the black. Like you know what they want you to find. The only thing is when you do your homework and you do write it down on your piece of paper, you are kind of writing these each time. So, okay, so let's go and do this. What I'm going to do is I don't have parentheses, right? So I noticed that things are being negated, and honestly, like anything that's being negated, work on first, like we did a second ago, right? I see that this P is being negated, so I can negate that. And then after that, I see that my Q is going to be negated, right? I've done those two steps. And then the last thing that I would do would be to take the conjunction of both not P with not Q, or the word and. That's how I'm breaking it up, okay? This is me negated, I need to negate it. This is being negated, I need to negate it. Okay, now I can look at my operation. Just don't get me wrong, because any of the steps that come out of my mouth to solve a problem with you in class is not like it's the same steps every single time. It's not like algebra, right? You have to follow these 100%. I mean, this is like every single problem is completely different. Every single step that you do is completely different, okay? So let's go ahead and negate P. P is this first column right here. The negation of true, true, false, false is period. And you see what I mean? Like we no longer need like those lines. Y'all's paper's lined, so it's actually easier for y'all than for me to not have it lined. But use those lines to be like what defines your rows and stuff. Okay. Okay. Now what about the very
False, true, false.
I'm gonna scoot up because y'all can't even see. There we go. 1, 2, and 3. The second thing I'm gonna do, hey y'all, you could have done this first and then this second. It didn't matter. Okay. Okay. I just want y'all to think that or to know that. And then the negation of Q would be false, true, because I'm taking this truth value and I'm negating it. I'm taking this truth value and I'm negating it. So on and so forth. Second verse, same as the first. Okay. And then what am I on? Purple. Lastly, now I notice that in the middle of these two operations that I just did is a conjunction. The conjunction is the word and we said earlier that when I have both of them being true, that was the only time I get true. When you know that there's those onlys, seek those out first sometimes, and then you can do the rest of them. Moving forward, that'll make more sense. But we're going to do them individually, one by one, so it makes sense. I'm asking myself, is this truth value and this truth value both true at the exact same time? Neither of them are. I know I need them both to be, but right here, neither of them are. So whenever that happens, I get a false. I might still say case 1 and case 2, we just have to write them again. You know what I mean? That would be like the first case. Okay, and I go down a row. Okay, case 2, is this and this true at the same time? Nope. Therefore, my outcome or the truth value that would be assigned to that is going to be false. Then right here, is T and F both true? Nope. Right here, is T and T both T? Yes. That would be your answer column, false, 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 true. Make sense? Okay. Y'all ready? I actually didn't think I would have to do a PQR, like 3 statement example until 3.3. And so when I saw it this morning, I literally just grabbed the first one that I saw so that we could do it. It's still the same thing. We're going to negate what we need to negate. We can copy down what we need to copy. We can do the operation, and then you just kind of do each column at a time. Okay. So don't freak out. Okay. You don't freak out, Peter. See? Hey, what we're going to do is Q or open P or not R. We've just been doing P's and Q's. Okay. Now I need to go ahead and again, y'all are given what I'm writing in black. Okay, so don't think that you have to remember this. I'm going to talk about where they all come from, but don't think you have to write this or like memorize it. You're going to be seeing it on the homework. Okay, so we need our P column. We need our Q column, and we're going to have an R column. Okay, and then I'm going to just simply write down what it is that I'm finding. Put my line underneath it. So I have 3 different statements now, not 4. Okay. Whenever this happens, you have the case where they are all true. You have the case where P and Q are true, but R is false. There ends up being 8, just so y'all know, okay? Then we have the case where P is true, Q is false, and R is true. And then true, false, 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 true, true, false, true, false, 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 true. And then false, false, false. They're looked at individually. So even though it's kind of like a lot, because you're looking at each thing individually, like it's, I know it looks like a lot though. Okay. So there's a pattern though. P is 4 and 4, 2 and 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Every single like different possibility. You got 3 different things. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Y'all have like what we're working on. I've got to get that false, false, false to show. Okay. Nope. That's still not there. There we go. That last one should be here. False, false, false. If I zoom out, it's going to get my handwriting real thin, but maybe that might work. Okay. So. Parentheses. Is there a negation? Let's negate it. And then like the ones that I don't like that I'm trying to tell y'all can learn to avoid is having to copy down the P column. I already have it right here, right? But if you want to copy it just to see it all next to itself, you can, or next to each other, you can. But it's the copying columns that I think are kind of annoying sometimes. If I'm negating it, I'm going to negate it. After I negate it, why don't I just go ahead and do this operation? But this is new for y'all, so I'm not gonna, I don't want to make anything more complicated than it already is. Parentheses, I work in there first. Are you alive at all? Nope. I don't even care. I'm done with you. Parentheses, I work in there first. And if there's something being negated, it's definitely gonna be like where I focus. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let's call this yellow because it was the first one I saw. What we are going to do, all right here, is negate our R column as the first thing. Excuse me. Ooh, stop, stop. Okay, so right here, this is where I'm working, right here. Okay, now it specifically is just telling me to do the negation of R. I don't care about the P, I don't care about the Q, I only care about the R right here. Okay, sorry, I saw it in slow motion. I just closed it, I just gotta open it again. The R that I'm working on, is it true? And so the negation of true is what? Yep, it's just the opposite. Whatever truth value you're looking at, you negate it, opposite. There we go. I hit like that home button and it sent me home. Okay, now I gotta delete it. Feels so good. Okay, so right here, I negate R. R is true, therefore the negation is false. And then I go to the second case or like the second row. My R is false, so the negation of false is true. And then do y'all see the pattern? It goes TF, 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 TF. So when you negate it, you write FT, 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 FT. Huh? Dude, I'll legit write it down right here and then we can check it. That way you can't lie. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 8. True. FT, 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 FT. Okay, what would you do next, Peter?
Well, you already got P.
See, and I know we already have the P. And so what you could do is just and so that's what I want to do, but I'm going to copy it because I am though.
I did too. 'Cause-
You did? Okay, okay, okay. But yeah, so yeah, I was going to copy it. After a while, you might actually kind of see like, oh, hey, I already have it written. Why am I writing it again? But it's okay to write it again. Okay, and I'm just copying it. So I quite literally, my P is true, 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 false, 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 false. If anything, it's me not having lines and like things getting kind of discombobulated and not lined up properly that could mess with us. Third column, which is going to be the answer to the set of parentheses.
Yeah, true, 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 false, true, false.
Let me see. What is this and why does it look like neon? Oh, well, that just happened. Did y'all see it disappear? That was crazy. Okay, there we go. That's an actual highlighter. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm looking here. Hey, I'm doing P or not Q, but I'm looking at the truth values that I have highlighted right now in pink and yellow. Okay. Do. Okay, so first case, is this true or this true? Yes, because that P is true. Okay. Is T true or T true? Yes. Is T or F true? T or T? F or F? F or T? F or F? F or T? And then now what do? Now I'm going to copy my Q down. Even though I'm trying to tell y'all, like, after a while, you shouldn't have to do a lot of copying, but it's completely okay. After I copy my Q, don't get me wrong, moving forward, like the conditional order is going to matter. You can't just look at it all willy-nilly. You got to look at it a specific way. So I would say that then you do need to make sure you copy things down, but that's something I haven't told y'all yet or taught you yet. Okay, when I copy down my Q, what do I got, DJ?
You copy the key.
Just copy it. Okay, and then now the last step would be to do what?
Answer.
It's going to be the answer column, which is going to actually be what the disjunction between this answer column are 3, right? And then this Q. Let me label here for my Q. That was the 4th thing I did. All it was a simple copy, but I am kind of just putting everything underneath where it goes. And then now what I'm doing, I'm not looking at the highlighted pink. I'm not looking at the yellow. Y'all, to be completely honest, what I would do in class and what I recommend, have a couple of pencils. Okay, so that whenever you are doing it, now I could I know y'all can't see me, but I literally on my piece of paper while I'm doing a test, I could cover up this yellow column. Okay, with my other pencil, I could cover up this pink column. So I know that I'm only looking right here. You know what I mean? Like little things just to kind of cover things up to keep it from being so many T's and F's at the same time. Okay, I'm only looking at 3 and 4. And what I'm doing is the disjunction. Disjunction means this or this, which means I only need at least one T, right? The only time I'm going to get a false with a disjunction is when they're both false. If you want to find those cases, you could find them and then you're filling out T's everywhere else, right? So, yes, Peter.
I was just saying, only one, so it's number 7.
The right here and here. Yeah,
That's the only one, right?
that is TT, TT, FT, FT, TF, TTF. Yes. So what Peter did was Peter just found the one case. And I know y'all that sometimes my handwriting will get slanted. Y'all should have it. You have your lines. It's a little bit clearer. Okay. But literally here is a false and here is a false. So when I ask myself that question, is this or this true? Here, my answer would be no. I feel like I should have been writing in 3 the whole time. Okay. This, remember, false or false, only time we get false. So I just found that one time. Don't get me wrong. There could be 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Here, there just happened to be one time. So for the rest of my blanks, it's all T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. This green answer, that's what some of the problems, that might be the only thing that they have set up for you to answer. They don't have it in any kind of way, shape, or form. It's just this whole huge thing, right, that we're trying to do, and then they just want the last answer column. They don't want any of this other work. That's why you need to go to your piece of paper and you need to set everything up the same way that we've been doing it. Okay. Yes. Yeah, and I actually now moving forward, so like exam 1 last year, I had my gallbladder removed, so all my students had to do it online. So I didn't even have an exam 1 review, and then it was just all a hot mess. I actually have my own I'm not handwriting, but like typed up reviews for exam 2, 3, and 4, and then also the exams done as well. So you'll actually get to see, like it's almost a copy and paste that I do. Okay, obviously, this work changes, but the setup and everything that I ask from you, you'll be used to it from seeing it on the review, and then you'll know how to what it wants whenever you take the actual test. Okay, now let's do the last example that I've got for you, and then I would open up the homework. Just give me a minute. So what we're going to do right now, okay, we are going to determine the truth value for each simple statement, then the compound statement. I don't really have this labeled as like problem 1, problem 2, because it's just this one. Okay. It's telling me to do 2 different things. Well, I mean, multiple things actually. It wants me to determine the truth value for a simple statement and then the other simple statement. And then there's going to be some kind of connective and or, right? And then after I figure out this truth value, and then I figure out this truth value, it wants me to actually do that operation of them. And this is what it is. Okay. It says 9. Until Addie, there is numbers in this math here. 9 plus 8 equals 20 minus 3 and 48 divided by 3 equals 4 times 4. If y'all see any stop it, Jennifer. If y'all see any qualities like this on the homework and you just don't understand what it wants, just make sure y'all ask me. Okay. Because I'm thinking that could be something that you see. It's like simple. Like it literally is just like 3 is greater than 5. The answer would be false. Okay. But like if you see the alligators and you don't know what it's saying, just tell me. Okay. So 9 plus 8 is what? 17. 20 minus 3 is what? 17.
You actually gotta solve it.
It's such little bitty baby problems like 20 minus 3, Peter, you're gonna be okay. And then what is the symbol for conjunction? Like that, right? Peter, 48 divided by 3?
Yeah.
4 times 4? Now individually, right? This was that first simple statement, right? And then I kind of simplified it a little bit. Now ask yourself, is 17 equal to 17? So true, right? This is a true statement. Then you have your conjunction. 16 equals 16, right? So this would be a true. Now for the final step, just look at your truth values in that conjunction. True and true equal. So your answer is true. Now say right here for this simple statement, it was like 4 equals 7. That wouldn't be true, that'd be false. And then when you get to the end, you're like true and false. You're like, nope, that's false. Okay. Literally, there might be 1 or 2 of these, and the math is simpler than what I just did. Seriously. Yes, Peter. Because other than that, I'm done. I'm gonna open up the homework for y'all.
So you can see.
It's because there's like 1 or 2 of these. I couldn't like not show you. Nope. Well, hey, because that one you actually can't immediately jump to true or false. There's no reason to do all the cases. Now if y'all want to wait 1 second, let me show y'all the homework. I don't have to sit here and like do a problem or anything. I don't want y'all to get to the homework and be like, I'm so confused. Like, let me just kind of show you how it's gonna look. Huh? You guys start bringing your blanket every day.
It's like 80 degrees outside.
I know that's what the AC's on. Okay, hopefully, am I still sharing? Yeah, okay. Nope, Jennifer. 3.2, right? The negation of P, which is not P, will always have the opposite truth value of P, right? Yes. No, the 3.1, yeah, it's already past 2. This is 3.2. Do you see how this looks? Right, so I've got a Q, I've got an R. Pay attention. This Q is first. Come on up here, Peter. I know you sit back there anyways. You're always quitting. Okay, so the first statement that they give me is the Q, not the P. Right, the second one's the R, not the Q. It doesn't matter. Right, they're giving me the truth values. If you notice, it's T, TFF, and then TF, TF. If I negate Q, doesn't that look like this? And now if I negate R, doesn't that look like this? Now, if I do the negation of Q and the negation of R, and I only get true when they're both true. So I find that one, everything else becomes an F. Boom, you're done. Same thing here. But if you notice, like this, it didn't give me any of all these columns I need to negate this, do the conjunction, then negate. So I need to have my piece of paper and I need to write it all out and I need to do all the different columns. Okay. So not Q and P by, okay, so not Q, not P, and it's a or this, true, false, this or this true, this or this true, this or this, that would be true, right? And then now, oh, but no, it just looks like it's telling me to negate it. Because look, what's in the parentheses, y'all, boy. And what's in the parentheses right here is the exact same thing in this parentheses. All it's telling me to do is what? Negate it. So if I did it right in my head, literally it should be true, false, 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 false.
So one would be P and the other one would be Q.
Here, yeah, but here we do have P and Q. The other homework, they use R and S. You get P, Q, R, S. Like the letter doesn't really matter, but it does in a sense that you need to know which one you're negating or which one you're working on.
Wait, what's the difference with the second one? Yeah, so like.
So it's just,
Do you see how it's open, not P or not Q? And this is saying not open, not P or not Q. So this is the exact same as this. What it's telling me is to look at this column and
It's just gonna be like.
negate it. It could be the opposite of what I got. And I mean, as long as, I guess it was Peter and I messing with that. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I can do that in my head. Y'all are gonna need to get a piece of paper. You do open, not P or not Q. What you do is negate the P and then negate the Q and then do their disjunction. Then when you scoot over, you notice, hey, that's the exact same thing, but it wants me to negate what I found. Then you see here, okay? This is what they want us to find is not Q and the conjunction of P with R. They give me everything, but all they want is the answer column. That's one very similar like what we just did, if it's not the exact same one. And so you got to do all the columns. That very last answer column, that's what goes there. Okay, there's another P, Q, and R. They also want just the answer column. Another one, P, Q, and R, they want just the answer column. Okay, this one, okay, this is the only thing I didn't do, but we've done this before, okay? The only thing is, it's the truth value of it now, like the truth table. So here it says, to write the following in symbolic form and then construct a truth table. We've gone from sentences to symbolic and symbolic to sentences. We did that like for a whole entire hour and 15 minutes last class. What it's giving me is the coffee is hot or the dishes have been set. P is the coffee is hot. Okay, and then the dishes have been set is just Q. So right here, the coffee is hot or the dishes have been set. Then it's telling me, is this or this true? Yes. This or this true? Yes. This or this true? Yes. This or this true? False. I didn't feel the need to spend 15 minutes going over how to go into symbolic form. We've done that. Okay, okay. 11, the table has been set and the napkins have not been put out. You see the word not and it goes against your cue. You probably have to do your tilde. This would be an and. Yeah, or and. And then 6 plus 4 equals 13. That would be equals 13 minus 3. So this is a true. And then 28, 7, 2, and 2, 4. Yeah, so true, and it wants a true. This one's just going to be true. I literally gave you that one, but I changed the numbers.
so you didn't even need to do the table.
And then this one, true, you don't, because it's like specifically looking at a certain case.
Yeah.
And moving forward, those are going to be the easiest ones where you're just looking at a specific case. This is true and this is true.
Math there, and then
Uh-huh.
true or false.
And then because it's a compound statement, it is a conjunction, it is true. Here, 0 is less than 2, yes, or 3 is greater than or equal to 2, no. True or false, at least one of them is. Okay, it's the truth tables. There's like, what, 10 of them? And they do kind of get a little gnarly. Just have a piece of paper and just write it each time. The more you do it, the better practice you have. Other than that, I have nothing else to say to you. You are free to go. Bye, y'all. See you Thursday. Awesome sauce.